eyes hear the thunder roar, knocking on fate's unsteady door.
Maps unfurl and kingdoms rise in this world where legends lie.
1,000 voices call the tune.
Under the stars, under the moon. TNT tabletop, where
on fate's unsteady door.
Maps unfurl and kingdoms rise in this world where legends lie.
1,000 voices call the tune.
Under the stars, under the moon.
TNT tabletop, where dreams collide, where time won't stop. Raise your sword, claim your throne, for an epic tale to be sown.
Miniatures march, armies clash, imagination burning like a flash. Heroes fall and villains grin, but every loss holds where we begin.
Through the fog, through the flame, we write our story, we stake our claim.
TNT tabletop,
Where dreams collide, where time won't stop. Raise your sword, claim your throne, for an epic tale to be sown. An epic tale to be sown. TNT tabletop. TNT tabletop. Roll the dice, hear the thunder roar, knocking on fate's unsteady door.
maps unfurl and kingdoms rise in this world where legends lie.
1,000 voices call the tune.
Under the stars, under the moon.
TNT tabletop, where where dreams collide, where time won't stop. Raise your sword, claim your throne for an epic tale to be
Thank you for waiting. And now we welcome you to tea and tea tabletop. So kick up your feet, enjoy the show. Here's your host, Tony.
Hey everybody, how you all doing tonight or this morning? I know it's a little bit late, early, whatever. My vocabulary is not exactly the greatest, so we'll just say early. Anyway, Legends, Time Roller, good to see you both. Time Roller, let me give you a shouty.
Knocking on fate's unsteady door.
Dead Yoda plays it a lot as well.
Kingdoms rise in this war.
I really like it. I really liked the game on Xbox. I played it a lot. So this is cool to have. Nice. What are you doing?
About the right time. Yeah. Let me change the music here. Got to do that. Anyway, yeah, Sniper Elite. God, I loved that game when I used to play it on. Sorry if the camera's a little bit off. The reason why is because sometimes I'll be over here rolling dice, which I'll have to turn that on too. But there we go. And the cameras are all off. Go figure, right? Anyway, wasn't quite prepared for tonight. At least my stream deck's working. That's a good thing. What do I want to set to? There we go. All right, so yeah, I used to love Sniper Elite. Specifically, a group of friends of mine and I used to play the zombie version all the time. It was a lot of fun. But I think I like the base game better and single player. I don't know, it's just something. It was just a lot of fun playing it the regular game. But anyway, so yeah, today we had a paint day earlier, and we pretty much almost finished off what we started 2 weeks ago. I kind of took a break from painting because Belial was a lot of work. He's done-ish. But I was also like, after painting him, that was like three sessions of painting. I was like, hey man, couldn't sleep yet? Nah, Matter, I couldn't, bro. So I was like, you know what? I've been dying to play these new characters, and I was like, I want to also test multi-streaming, which I'm doing right now. So I'm on YouTube and this. Facebook was giving me issues, but I'll figure it out one day. Probably Thursday when I do a big stream. I stepped away and thought the intro sounded like I was going to see Disney movie, and I heard Time Roller's voice. It's a lot to come back to, Legend. But Matter, let me give you a shouty too. And Legend, you gotta remind me if you stream or not. It's gonna take me a couple times to remember. I think you do. If I remember correctly, I think you rated me, didn't you? Might be an idiot right now. Yeah, I was gonna say I could have sworn you did, because I could have sworn you rated me.
I'm here. No.
Sorry, I don't have the greatest memory. Oh, yeah, that was a good time.
Oh God.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so yeah, we had a paint day today, and pretty much got them done. It's the group of the Serpent Men, and yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and bring them out now. Hold on a second. OBS spot is... I thought I turned you on. I think I might have accidentally pressed the off button, not the virtual cam button. There we go. Oh, the virtual cam button's on. Why did it turn off? Awkward. Okay. So... Still crashing. What is going on here? There, that's better. Alright, so anyway. And that clip is why I always find the stun gun and shoot you. It's well deserved, man. I wrote it. But yeah, that's why yeah, I totally deserve being shot by the stun gun, whatever, you know how it is. Anyway, so yeah. There we go. So there they are. They are pretty much done. There are a few things that I do need to add to them. There's a couple models. It's really just this guy. The rest of them are pretty much done. The shaman, I need to paint the jars. So again, oh god, they're still... I gotta be careful. But anyway, I gotta paint the jars, and I need to paint the rattle on his tail. But that's what they're looking like. Not too bad, right? So that's the chieftain. My friend told me today that his wife left a window opened and it rained on one side of his favorite board. Oh no! And he threw it away. What a bummer, but how come his games are near... I mean, I'll come out and say there's been days where I would leave... Like, I had my desk right in front of a window, and I had my my Mac right there, and I wasn't thinking. And it's not raining out, but it was, like, just misting. And it finally clicks when I started feeling it on my face coming out of the... God, when I start feeling it on my face. I'm one after another. Anyway, the mist was coming in, and I was feeling it. And it finally dawned on me, oh my god, the fan of my Mac is blowing mist into the damn system. I got lucky. The thing didn't break. I guess I guess the silicon chipset is durable, but it scared the living hell out of me because I was like, oh my god. But board games, the worst I've ever had was somebody drop beer on assets for a board game, and that was for Eldritch Horror. We were playing Eldritch Horror, and they knocked their beer over, and it got onto, out of everything, the clue tokens. And I was like, oh, those are the ones that they need to be in perfect shape so that this way you don't know which one's which. But yeah, no, I understand the pain, because I was about ready to get rid of that game after that. I was like, the moment one piece is ruined, bye. Anyway, I gotta find a way to fix that camera. I had a deck builder Marvel game that got soaked when... Oh, no. And games like that these days are probably collector's items. That sucks. I still have... Wait, are you thinking of Versus? Because I have Versus. I have... If what you're talking about is what I'm thinking of, the Versus system, which is Marvel and DC battling each other, which was epic. I had the Arkham Inmates. I have an Arkham Inmates deck. Oh, Marvel Legendary, that's right. There's that too. That's a really fun game as well. Didn't they combine it with a lot of other things too, like Predator and Aliens, and there was a whole mess of things. I could have sworn, wasn't it? Versus was pretty wild. I just remember like having a lot of, like, I was a troll when I played that game. I didn't care if I won or not. I just loved like destroying other people's forcing people to remove their cards from the game. and that's why I loved my Arkham Inmates deck. I'd pull the Riddle Me This card out, and I'd be like, remove the next card from the top of your deck. It happened to be their rank 8 Thor, which was always the end game. I would laugh hard. Yeah, Alien Legendary was awesome. I remember that was recommended me because my buddy, y'all remember Tom. Tom and I bought Marvel with like a whole bunch of craziness for it, and then somebody recommended, they were like, you need to get Aliens, and I was like, I didn't even know they made an Aliens. Picked it up, and we didn't get to play it, but I remember watching videos on it, and I was like, oh my god, that looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, the Legendary games are always good. What other card games did I play? I didn't. You know what's funny is that all the card games that existed, I never got into Magic the Gathering. I'm gonna have to watch that later. Screw it, I'll watch it right now. If it will let me, I'll watch it later. I got a lot of things running right now. But yeah, so yeah, this is where we're at with these guys, and I'm pretty happy with them. So the next step is that white. Yep. There's some work to do, but my goal with these guys is I need to finish him. Come on, focus. Focus! Never mind. Okay, so I need to finish him, and I think that's it. I was going to paint the bases with, like, I might still do that. I kind of want to give it a swampy look. That's why it's got the bluish color on the base. But I do have like brushes and stuff I can put on there. We'll see. I got a lot to work with on these guys. But I've been like seriously like dreading today painting these guys, because these are like the first run models for Shadows of Brimstone, the first core set, and as I was painting them, I was seeing all the problems with the models that were put together. Partially my fault. I could have used some green stuff to fill in some of the gaps. Fix the typo. Oh, okay. Give me 1 second here. There we go. And the right person, right? Okay. I had like 8 windows pop up when I pressed on his name. Anyway. So yeah, I've been wanting to play with these 2 new characters. I was actually thinking about doing this last night before today's stream. But I got 2 new characters that I've been dying to play as. I don't have many painted miniatures, but I do have some games painted by paying people to paint them. Yeah, there's nothing like having a painted board game. I remember when I got Zombicide, not classic, fantasy. I ended up getting a Zombicide fantasy, and I painted the core box, every single zombie, the fatties, runners, regular zombies, the Abomination, and all the base characters, having the full core box painted. It was awesome. I remember even bringing it to a gaming convention, and it was just awesome, like watching that whole thing being used. And I did the same thing with Green Horde when that came out. Is it Wolfhaven? Wolf something, but it's the Wolf expansion for the first one. But yeah, understandable legend. Like, it's awesome to have everything painted. If I go silent, it means I went to sleep or worked on Legends. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's a late stream, and I'm probably only gonna be online for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I've been dying to play with these. And here's the models. So that's the female. That's the female knight, and that is the paladin that I created. So technically not a paladin, but they did is they released a new class called the questing knight, and I've been dying to get it. And it finally came in last week. I put it all together. I still need to scan all the cards for the game and everything to add it to the system for the monsters. I have like several new monster groups now. There's already enough, but I can't help it. They release more stuff, I buy it. I'm a kind of a consumer whore when it comes to this game. But anyway, so yeah, right there. Her name is Alessandra. I don't have a background or anything for her. But she's a paladin, which is basically... I combined Nun, or the past preacher, with the questing knight. And questing knights are kind of overpowered when I looked at them. But anyway, unfortunately, Paladin, she doesn't have any healing skills. I had to draw random cards, and I didn't get a healing skill. All I got was... Basically, it's almost like a war... She's kind of running like a war priest, where she's... Why is the camera acting up? Anyway, she's more like a war priest, because she's got, like, spells for weakening enemies, and... Yeah, very excited for it, because she drops enemies' defense with weakness. I was like, that's awesome in this game. And again, questing knights come with stupid things. Like, I was blown away by what they came with. And then this here is Kaldus. Yep, Kaldus. And that's the male model. There's two other models. There's two box sets. There's one box set's just knights with helmets. And then there's another box set that is a male and female set. Of course, I bought both of them, and there was really no point of doing it. Like I said, I have to buy the models. But Kaldus, I did a combination of the Blood Priest and the Questing Knight. So his thing is to go around slaying monsters, and when he does it, I gave him the Ritual Blade. So whenever he slays a monster, I get points to spend on casting blood magic. And the blood spells that I got, or the blood spell that I got, was Blood Puppet. So if I'm 6 spaces away from an enemy, I can, like, force that enemy to attack another enemy. I'm like, that's sick. Sorry, man, I'm watching Willis Wonderland for the first time, and I'm getting sucked in. Ooh, Willis Wonderland. Not familiar with that. What's that on? I went all in on Touch of Evil from Flying Frogs. Ooh, Touch of Evil. I see a lot about it, and also the one that keeps... I want to get it is Fortune and Glory. Everybody who loves Shadows of Brimstone, like I do, have always told me, get Fortune and Glory. The problem is, when I look at how much this is my problem right now. When I look at how much I spent on this game in general, and then I look at Fortune and Glory, I'm looking at the price of that, and I'm like, I just know who I am as a person. I'm like, I don't want to spend that kind of money. But anyway, so yeah, so that's, how is Touch of Evil? When I saw everything on their website, it just looked awesome. You own the Conquest and Planet Earth expansion. Okay. Yeah, I got to see more on that. So it looks really good. So, I am way zoomed in. The Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. What? Before Five Nights at... Oh, okay. So it's related to Five Nights at Freddy's? Alright, so these characters have... The thing about the Questing Knights is they both have quests. For right now, let's see, that's Alessandra. So how this works is when you create a character, you get for the knights, you get a heraldry, so you actually get like a banner, and it actually gives you some bonuses for your character. Alessandra she's got the Queen's banner, or the Queen's heraldry, and the Queen's Knight heraldry, and Kaldus has the Red Knight. And the difference between the two is the Red Knight is super offensive, so their whole thing is combat. The Queen's was it is combat heavy, but very well rounded. So I'm very, very interested to see how they're going to work out in combat. I'm really excited about is their shields. I could have made Kaldus ridiculously, I could have made him a super tank with Blood Priest, because there's a starting gear I could have chose. I just realized I have to set up the characters. You know what? Ignore the character information. I forgot to set that up. I'll just turn them off. Where is it? I would prefer to use it, but I don't want to spend the time. I mean, I guess I could just have them saved. It's going to take me a few seconds, and everything's already saved and stuff, so I can go ahead and do this. But, nope, it's not related, just the same thing. Just before the trend happened. Oh, okay. Touch of Evil is roll and move, but the characters, enemies, and traveling to different locations is really fun. Trying to figure out where the enemy is, and also figure out if townspeople will help you, or the enemy is the final battle. Ooh. Or the enemy in the final battle. Oh, okay. Like I said, what I saw on the website had me very drawn to it. Because I remember I was looking up stuff for Fortune and Glory, and when I saw Touch of Evil, I was like, man, I dig it. And I liked all the expansion packs for it. I'm very curious about it. But if I remember correctly, that one's kind of a hard one to get, isn't it? Like some of the expansions for it. So anyway, I get quests for both characters. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a second or a couple minutes, to fill in the character sheets at the bottom of the screen. I keep pointing at my television. I should be pointing down here. Anyway, so as far as quests are concerned, they're in the wrong place. Kaldus has a redemption, and Alessandra has new land. So what the whole thing for Alessandra is, every 5 rooms we explore that are not passageways. I think it's not passageways. Actually, it's right here on the card. Hello. Oh no, it's for every map card. So for every 5 map cards that are in the discard pile, we get a token on this. And if any time we get through a gate, it's an additional token. So once we reach the value, which is 5 plus the hero level, which is 1, so 6, we get the reward. And then at the beginning of the next adventure, you draw a new one. This is such a really cool take for this game. This is actually very, very similar to what I'm building right now to make the adventures a little more fun. Because I'm getting rid of travel mode in this game. I'm sick of it. In 2020, they had everything for sale. Also, after they made an anniversary edition. Nice. Yeah, because I know that I want to say they updated Fortune and Glory. And I know that in 2020, I think they updated all their games around 2020. So I know that Shadows of Brimstone had an upgrade kit around that time. I think it was because they released the Forbidden Fortress expansion and everything, and they decided it was about time they updated the game. Probably, I think I know why, because if you look at the original core games for Shadows of Brimstone, the characters are kind of weak compared to, Forbidden Fortress. And I do need to update my character creator, because I have a PDF of like everything. It's all set to the 2014 model, and there's a lot of 2020 rules that are better. Because when I was playing, I'm noticing when I'm playing as the Marshal, there's a lot of things I'm missing that I could be getting in Marshal if I follow the 2020 book instead of the 2014 book. So it's nice that they're keeping up with it. What I love about Flying Frog is that they are really incredibly good at supporting their games. Like, their facts are usually spot on, up to date. They're coming out with update packs and stuff. Although I didn't like the idea that they were selling out an update pack. I kind of wish they just had it in a fact. You know, you already bought the game. I just felt like it was probably better that you probably would have just given us that. But I think they did eventually. Because I know I can download all the rules now off their website that are the update. It's just the only problem is, I guess it makes sense why they did the update pack. It came with all the cards and information that you couldn't get in a PDF. One of my favorite streamers used to play Shadows of Brimstone a lot, but I haven't seen them on in a while. You have to let me know who it is, because I would definitely, if they have VOD, I would love to watch. There's a few people on YouTube I used to watch, and there's another group that plays once a year around November, and they do a 24-hour stream of Shadows of Brimstone, or 24-hour stream of Shadows of Brimstone, and it's for charity. I would like to do that one day. That would be a lot of fun. But if I do it, I want to make sure I have a big group of people, and we would just do a whole bunch of craziness. And I love what they did too, because they created, anytime you donated to a specific cause, they would roll on it. It would the X amount that you put in would be a challenge for the team, whether it gave elite abilities for the next fight, stuff like that. I've always wanted to do that, but I want to wait till if the stream ever gets bigger, or I find a nice big group of people and we promote it. I would love to do a charity event. That'd be a lot of fun, especially creating rules and stuff for it. Okay, so yeah, we got Alessandra with the new lands, and we have Kaldus with Redemption. And how Redemption works is, you can probably already read the card, but anytime he is KO'd, he gets 2 markers. Anytime we complete an adventure with nobody but himself KO'd, we get 1. And I think that was it. You can actually... You won't need another player to res you when you have Redemption, which is so good. Because in order to res another character, you have to actually spend your action pulling them off the table, or actually off that tile, into a tile that doesn't have enemies, and then spend your action to res them. Well, I looked, and they have a YouTube channel also with Shadows of Brimstone, but nothing new in the last year. Well, hopefully they get back around to it. So I know Bishop, who's usually in here, has another person that he watches videos from, and that person also had some really cool... What I loved about that stream was they were very informative, so they were describing every little thing that was happening. They were really good at it. Something I'm not great at. I'm usually just gun-ho, let's do this, roll some dice. Alright, so... God, it's getting hot in here. Alright, so... We got those 2 characters. They got some quests. I'm going to go ahead and fill in... That's kind of covering things up. Yeah. Maybe over here? Nope. Oh, you know what? I'll just keep them around here. And give me a minute. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the information for both characters. It'd be a lot easier than using the character sheets. And I want everybody who's watching to actually see everything progressing. Alright, so let me change. I really need to find a way to send information to JSON. Okay, what I'm looking for is this. Oh, there's a reset. I have a reset button. I didn't know I had a reset button. Alright, so first character. And she's higher initiative, so nope. Actually, it's Kaldus. Alright, so Kaldus. And controlled by me. I can always bring focus back in. Oh. Okay, I'm kind of an idiot. There we go. Alright, so Kaldus. controlled by me. Level 1. What's his max grit? 2. 0 XP. 0 gold. Darkstone. Initiative 4. How many max wounds? 16 and 14. And then max corruption is a 5. There we go. I think everything's set up there. And then we need to do the same for Alessandra. I'm actually really excited for the Paladin. She's super powerful. She gets a lot of damage. Max grit of 2. She's got a 4 max corruption. Darkstone 0. Initiative 3. She's slower. Max wounds 16 and 12. And corruption of 4. There we go. We are good to go. Just need to reset some of these settings for max. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and roll a... I'm going to roll a d6. And that's going to determine which realm we're going to start in. Because how I like to play Shadows of Brimstone is that you're stuck in the realm that you're in until you can find a portal to get you somewhere else. So, if we're in the frontier, we can go to... For starting location, we can go to the mines and the canyons. If we're in the frontier, not frontier, the feudal village or feudal era, we can go to, of course, Forbidden Fortress and the Forest of the Dead. And we've been stuck in the Forbidden Fortress for quite a while so far. It would be nice to have a change, but what's crazy is that for the knights, it just makes sense they would be at the fortress. There we go. It is working. I didn't even announce what it was going to be. All right, so 1 through 3. I rolled a die for no reason. On 1 through 3 is going to be the frontier. 5 through 6 is going to be the feudal. So at that point, we can choose wherever we want to go. Here we go. Oh, I should know better. These dice like to roll 1s. Okay, so cool. We're gonna start in the frontier. Again, I'm gonna roll a die because I'm always gonna do the first mission I do with new characters every time is always the basic one, which is the hunt for Darkstone. And I'll go over the rules here in a second. Where do I want to start with them? We'll start in the mines. Why not? There it is? Question mark? Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to use this one. It's still technically the map tile. It's just the base game, the original core game of this, the map tile, the starting area was like almost 2 to 3 spaces longer, which would take you so many extra turns just to get from one point to the other. So we'll start here. And we'll be as far in as we can. Get the wrong colors on them. Kaldus is... Wait, hold on a minute. Yeah, Kaldus is yellow. That's right. Maybe I did have them right. Okay. Thankfully, these are made out of thermal plastic. There we go. Alrighty. Let's do a short check here. Okay. So, in the mines, let me see if I can find a track for that. I actually don't think I have one. Yeah. That's actually one thing I have not made yet, and it's like the very first place you go to. Alright, so we're gonna use horror. Alright, again, for everybody who's new to this, I use Suno AI for the music to kind of help generate what I'm looking for. A lot of the there's one song in particular that I actually created the melody a long time ago, and I just kind of use Suno to actually take it and remix it into what I needed. Alright, so everything needs to be reset. And so, to kind of go over everything, we're going to start on the basic mission. Which is, it should be called Hunt for Darkstone. For the longest time I kept calling it Fistful of Dollars, or Fistful of Darkstone, but it's called... Oh, I was wrong both times. For a few Darkstone more. That's what we're going to be doing. I'll use this over here. Okay. So, I mean, I guess I could read the fluff a little bit. Sitting in a saloon after one afternoon, you overhear talk of a local mine up in the hills that has a large deposit of Darkstone. Just waiting for someone to come and claim it. It sounds too good to be true, and it probably is, and the old prospector swears up and down that he would go claim it himself if he were 20 years younger. It's not hard to figure out which mine system he's talking about based on the landmarks he mentions, and though the other patrons he tells just dismisses him, this could be the big score you've been looking for. Good God, like word for word, this is pretty much the same writing as in the Forbidden Fortress. So we start on the basic map tile. And the mission goals are we have to find 3 clue tokens, and then we find the deposit. So, considering that these characters are pretty powerful, part of me wants to get through it quickly so that we can just kind of get a run out of it. But you know what? We'll continue it on Thursday. So, let's do a 3 clue mission. So, we have to find 3 clues. So, when we find the final clue, we are actually going to be ignoring the... Okay, I'll just go ahead and read them. Mission goals. The heroes are searching for a deposit of valuable Darkstone up in the hills. To reach the Darkstone deposit that they are looking for, the heroes must find enough clue icons or exploration tokens to lead them to the objectives. There are 3 variations of the mission, and the heroes must choose before the mission begins which mission length they want to embark on. So we did. We're going to do find 3 clue tokens, which is medium, and the rewards for it are pretty decent. 50 XP and D3 plus 1 Darkstone, which, again, actually, let me tell you something about the Questing Knight. There is an ability for the Questing Knight, Tier 4, which the only way you can get it is either playing as a Questing Knight and not as a Journeyman, or playing as a Journeyman and getting to Tier 4 Journeyman to get a Tier 4 ability. And the Questing Knight has one that, if you ever complete a quest, you get D6 times 500 gold for completing the quest. My God. Anyway, objectives. Yeah, there's no special rules. When the final clue is discovered, the heroes have found the Darkstone deposit they were looking for. Ignore any attacks or encounters listed on the final exploration token. Also, ignore any door gate icons on the token, as the objective room has no exits. Reveal all Growing Dread cards in the stack as normal, and then the heroes must face an epic threat. Once all enemies have been defeated, the heroes have successfully completed the mission. So, very simple. Very simple. And I always like to start with that mission for every new character. It kind of helps us decide, especially when we're playing Journeyman, it helps us decide whether or not we should upgrade the difficulty or not. And I've always been the kind of person that's like, when it comes to D&D or any role-playing games, up until your second level, if there's something that doesn't seem right on your character, that isn't working out the way you want, go ahead and make the change you need. So long as it's, you know, nothing major. Like, pretty much every stat change. But in Shadows of Brimstone, you kind of start with specific stats. So. Alright. So we're in the mines. It's been quite a while since we've left the Forbidden Fortress on this stream. The whole Season 2, we've been in the Forbidden Fortress. I think I tried to get us to a different world, and every time we always end up getting a exploration token on a mission that didn't allow us to go to it. Here, in this case, we get to go to other worlds. Alright, so let's begin. So to start off... Excuse me. Now I'm getting tired. Alright. To start off, we have Kaldus. And... at the beginning of every turn, he always gets... One of these days, I'm going to get my tokens working. He always has 2 focus. I think they both have 2 focus. Let me take a look. Yep. Focus is really good on the knights, by the way. So, for anybody new to the new stuff that they've released, the questing knights, you can spend focus to turn a d6 into a d8. There's also some abilities that ask you to use focus, or focus and grit. And then there's actually a class, or heraldry or something. I forget which one it was. But there's one that lets you re-roll a die and turn it into a d8 at the same time. But the only time you can use them is on anything you could grit roll. So if it's something like, I don't know, for say, this over here, the depth track, you can't turn any of those dice into a d8. But if you're using a knight that's also a caster, which are both characters, being able, and they refresh at the beginning of every turn, turning your casting dice into d8s is one of the greatest things ever. Yeah. It's amazing. So, we're going to start. We'll start with Kaldus. Everybody starts with 1 grit. I don't have that built in. What's wrong with me? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a grit to everybody. And Kaldus is going to put them in order here. Let's see. That's what it is. Red Knight aggressive stance. Use honor to reroll individual to hit or damage rolls using a d8. That's pretty sweet. Alright, so I need to roll for grit for him first. So the way I play this game is I use the advanced movement rules in the back of the main core rulebook. So instead of rolling a d6 and, oh look, I got a 1. I mean, yeah, I get a grit from it, but it's like, whoop. And it's like, alright, I'm going to spend that grit to reroll again. Okay, well that actually kind of works out pretty good. But I've always had the luck of rolling 1s. I'm notorious on this stream for rolling 1s and 2s. So I'm like, we play with the advanced movement rules, which is 4 movement, plus whatever bonuses you're getting from boots and equipment and all that. And you're just doing a d6 roll for grit, which, in this case, I always use the pretty side of the die. So, I need to roll a grit for him, so it's going to have to be a 6+. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it, so he's going to have to move up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, this is closer than some of the other tiles. Alright, since we're actually playing here, I actually need to get the tile set for the mines. Been a while since we've been here. I have some signed tile cards, apparently. Alright. So, Kaldus moves up 4 spaces, and he's going to spend his action to peek through that doorway. And what he's going to find... It's a small passage. Okay, we can deal with that. That's part of the base game. What is that doing in here? I've been looking for this for 2 weeks, and it was in the base game tile set. Hello. Alright, so... a whole bunch in here. Oh my god. Alright, so... he just finds a short passage. Basically, this just turned into the... the base game entrance area. And he gets 5 experience for that. Next up is Alssesandra. And she's going to roll for grit as well. She needs a 6+. Seems like rolling 4s on those. And she's going to move up for 4 spaces. And she's going to... I think I'm going to have her scavenge. She needs 6 pluses. Nothing. It's actually something I need to do. I just realized I don't have the filter on my camera. There we go. Alright, so... that's the end. Oh, everybody moved up. She did her action. Kaldus and Alssesandra did their actions. It's the end of the round. We didn't find a room. We just found a passageway. So we don't get an exploration. Oh, we did go up 1 space. I need to reanimate that. Get rid of that. That needs to stay there for the next adventure. That's for the season 2 characters. Osho needs to go back and do a high noon. Or don't bother going to town. He's going to do the high noon. Alright, so... we need to roll 2d6, add them together, and it needs to be a 7+. Which, we got lucky. Every time I see that 1, I freak out. Alright, so, we made it. We got a 7+. And, now... we're going to... let's see... start with Kaldus. Kaldus is going to roll for grit. And he's going to move up for his 3 spaces here. Search as well. There we go. Finds a dark stone shaft. Now, normally, here is an advanced rule set. It's an advanced card. I'm not going to use it until I have it built into the system. I have them all scanned. I just need to I need to build it in on the system for me to call it. I'm getting tired of going through the entire, like, I have a big deck of that, and I'm tired of going through it. So I'm like, for now, until I get it actually built into the system, I'm just gonna leave it like this. So it's the Darkstone Shaft from Derelict Ship. Here it is. Derelict Ship. That's it. We got ad break in 5 minutes, everybody. And it's going to be entering from this direction. So we may have to zoom the camera out a little bit here. These tiles are warping. Need to fix that one of these days. Okay. Pretty cool. We actually moved in and saw a big shaft of darkstone. That's pretty cool. So Kaldus gets an additional 5 XP. If I can get this thing to work. There we go. And we're going to do an exploration there as well. So anybody new to the stream, I don't use the tokens. I've got them all built in on the stream. And we just kind of call them. Just like darkness cards, low threat, medium threat, high threat. Which, by the way I'm playing these guys right now, so I'm unsure how they're going to work. But considering how powerful they are to me, I will still be taking on low threat because we're playing 2-player. But every enemy's going to have an elite ability. That might make this difficult, but these are 2 characters that do a lot of damage. And can take a lot of damage for level 1. Alright, so he moved up, searched that room. Next is Alssesandra. She needs a 6+, pretty close, not quite. She's going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still going to have to figure out what space is in there, but we'll figure that out when we get the exploration token. So, everybody's activated. Keep forgetting to use this. Everybody's activated, and we now move on to exploration.
Our journey continues.
The worst possible exploration token. No clue token. On top of that, you get a depth event and an encounter. And I hate depth events. Only when I roll 6s, they're great. But anyway. Alright, so depth event, we have to roll a d6. See what we get. Come on. That works out, actually. Kind of sucks, but it works out. That's it. I'll show you what it is. I'll bring the charts up. So, let's see what we got. We are in base game. So, ambush attack. There are fiendish creatures and demons in the dark places of this world. Ambush attack. Draw a threat card and immediately ambush the heroes. This is actually kind of what I wanted. I really wanted to see what they're capable of. And I'm like, this is the opportunity to do that. Ad break in 1 minute and 45 seconds, everybody. Alright. So, perfect. Perfect, actually. Let's see. So we're gonna need a low threat card. Let me go ahead and... Ooh, excuse me. Change the scenery, too. Yeah, that's better. So we're in the mines. There's no effects in the mines. Let's draw a low threat card. They're gonna be an assault, aren't they? No, shootout. That's interesting. Okay. They're gonna be trouble because we're gonna have to somehow catch up to them. We do have grit, so we'll probably have to use the grit to catch up to them. Because they're gonna be trying to they're gonna try to run away and just kite us. That's kind of a bad enemy for these two. Except that I have Blood Puppet. I can get them to shoot each other. Alright, so we need D3 plus 1. So 3 total. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab 3 of them. Actually, first what I'll do is I'll bring the card up. That is Takobake Rifleman. There we go.
At starting, take a break.
Your initiative 5. And like I said, we're gonna give them elite abilities. 3. Oh god, +2 combat and +1 shot. That's dangerous. Alright, so we can put that card away. So we're dealing with them. They get a lot. So they're getting 4 shots total, 3 combat total with 5 damage a pop. Unfortunately for them, this team has armor 5+, but because they're not strictly questing knights, they're 5+ on their saves because their backstory characters had weak defense. Or their backstory class had weak defense. The Blood Priest had a 5+, and the same thing goes for the Pastor. The sad truth is I could have totally given the Blood Priest charm to my Blood Knight and made him nearly impossible to kill. It would have given him a 4+ cover save, a 5+ defense, and a 5+ shield. Because he's got armor 5+. The shields are kind of useless. Oh no, the shields are good because you still get cover saves. What's really cool about the shields for the questing knight is that you can either give cover saves for a set of combat attacks, or a set of attacks from a source for them or yourself. It's a pretty cool class. All right, so I'll be right back. I'm going to grab 3 Takobake riflemen. Yep, and they got shootout. If I remember correctly, their whole point of shootout is to make set up targets. I should probably move this so that everybody can see. If I remember correctly, I believe they select targets, make their shots, then try to run away. Or keep a distance away. But what I'll do is I'll pop up that resource card here in a second. So enemies with shootout prefer ranged attacks over melee. They move and target using shootout markers with the following procedure. So they are in ambush. When ambushing, select a random hero and place... Welcome back from the ad, everybody. We're getting in the middle. We're getting into an ambush by some Takobake riflemen. So they are in ambush. So when ambushing, select a random hero and place all of the shootout enemies on that hero's map tile as far from the heroes as possible. Then they retreat. If adjacent to a hero at the start of its activation, roll a d6 on a 4+. Makes a free move along the shortest distance to no longer be adjacent. Otherwise, make a melee attack against a random hero adjacent this turn. Target a random hero without a shootout marker yet, and move the shortest distance to be within range and line of sight, while not ending adjacent to any heroes. May move through the other enemy models of the same type. If reached, place a shootout marker on the target. Otherwise, at the end of its movement, target a new random hero that is within range and line of sight, and place a shootout marker on them. So somebody's going to be getting 2 shootout markers. Make ranged attacks once all the enemy groups have moved and placed shootout markers. Roll ranged attacks against the heroes. For each shootout marker they have on them, remove all shootout markers. Okay, so so they need to be within range of the heroes. Obviously, they're going to be in here. The problem is, what's their range on their weapon? Oh God, 10. Okay, so there definitely would be one here. Luckily, I got one of these things. Our buddy Bishop kind of recommended it. Pretty awesome, right? So, from center to center, I'd say they can definitely still see from there. Well, hell, they can see right here. So we'll just do that. So, I'm not going to put any markers. I'm just going to say that this guy's targeting Kaldus. this guy's going to come out. And he's going to be targeting Alessandra. And this one's going to be coming out targeting Kaldus. Or actually, could he do either one? Let's roll a die on it. So how I work this is on a 1, 2, or 3, it's going to be Kaldus. 4, 5, or 6 is Alessandra. One of these days, I would like to build it in the stream to have a button that I press and it just randomly selects a hero. The problem is that could also change based on the situation. So maybe dice rolling is just a better way to go with this. So going after Alessandra. So Alessandra's going to have 2 guys. Luckily, they're both standing next to each other. Well, can he? It is kind of tapping that corner, which is usually a no-go. He's going after Alessandra. He wants to be the furthest away from targets, so yeah, you know what? He's going to be going after Kaldus. Because that's tapping the corner. Alright. So, let's start. So they're getting +2 combat, +1 shot. Might be a good idea for me to change the music. Let's see. We're fighting these enemies. We could use anything, really. I have several different types of songs for battle. We'll use this one. No, we'll use the basic one. All right. So, oh, I really need to get the snap-ons. It would make this so much better and easier and faster. This just kind of helps you all easily see everything on the board. Also going to make sure the arrows are pointing the right direction. Okay. Alrighty, so they're initiative 5. They're actually technically initiative 7 because they got ambush. Makes me wish I had my gunslinger. So yeah, they're definitely going first. Oh, they got armor 5+. Oh, I got stuff for that. Alright, so oh, the Blood Priest. I'm so glad I got that that weapon for him. Like I said, I could have gotten the charm, but instead took the Blood Priest dagger, which adds damage and ignores armor. So Kaldus is looking at these guys like, this is going to be an easy kill. Alright, so we're getting 2 attacking Kaldus, 1 attacking Alessandra. What are they getting? They're getting 4 shots a piece, so we'll go ahead and roll them out separately. I don't think I have enough well, I have plenty of dice. So we've got 1 dude and another dude. Wow. 35 experience a piece, so that's not bad. They need 4 pluses on these. And what's awesome about this is that I can use cover saves. So let's see what they get first for some shots. So 4 pluses. Oops, so that guy missed 2. This guy missed 3. So there's 2 independent shots. I can use some cover saves on these if I wanted to. I'm not really too worried about it. But it's once per turn. Why not? So I'm going to have Kaldus use his shield on himself against this guy's round of attacks. And this one I'm just going to have to take. They don't have any bonus. Oh! Double damage on D6s, huh? Might be worth taking a cover shot from. But we still get defense rolls too. So we'll go through the covers first. We get a 4+ cover save, 5+ defense, and then any remaining damage, unless they ignore armor, which they don't, we get armor saves of 5+. All right. So, and how that works for everybody new to Shadows of Brimstone, cover is kind of like just, as it says, you're taking cover. Here in this case, it's a shield. You're using a shield to take that cover save. Defense is literally dodging the attack, and the armor is literally your armor. Whatever you're wearing is trying to take whatever amount of damage out from the attack. Now, how armor works is very different compared to cover and defense. Cover and defense, you're just rolling against the attacks, those hits that are being made. Armor, on the other hand, all the damage that's coming out of those attacks is being rolled against. So we'll start with the first guy. We're getting cover saves on this one. The other one we're not. Actually, it might be better if I use cover on that one. That's double damage. It's a 5+ save. I have better chances of getting rid of this. Now, alright, so we need 4 pluses on this for cover. So we saved one. Didn't the other, but now we have defense rolled. We're seeing if he can actually dodge the other shot. Nope. So in that case, they do 3 damage on this. So I need to make 3 rolls of 5+ against this, because that's the armor value of the plate armor. I failed all 3 of them. So therefore, Kaldus took a full hit. So 3 points of damage. And then we got this one. So he needs to make a defense roll of 5+ first, which he does. So we're good there. So, hey, 3 damage on the potential of... That's quite a bit of damage that he could have done. After that, we have this guy over here, who's going after Alssesandra. And he's going to be making 3 shots as well. No, 4 shots. Who am I kidding? 4 shots. Any 6s do double damage. That's 2 hits. I'm going to let Kaldus use the shield on himself. I'm going to let Alssesandra use her shield on herself. Once per turn, may add +1 to one of your armor rolls. I should have remembered that. Okay, they have the helmet. The helmet gives them a bonus. But yeah, the chivalric shield. Let's see. Yeah, once per turn, give yourself or another adjacent hero cover 5+, not 4+. I thought it was 5+. Or 4+. Okay. Made a mistake there, I guess. But anyway, cover 5+ for all hits just taken. And you can use honor on adjacent hero, defense, and cover saves. That's really good. Okay, so they made 2 hits. We need to make cover saves of 5+ against this. Either one. We need to make defense rolls of 5+ against these as well. Should I use defense dice first? I could change these over to D8s. Let's just see what happens. God, this is already happening. Okay, so we're taking 6 points of damage at 5+ armor. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so 5 points of damage to Alssesandra. You're getting a taste of what I'm notorious for, and that's rolling 1s and 2s. Okay, so after that, they're supposed to move, I believe, but within range. Let me pull that card back up. Shootout always kind of confused me. This movie was ridiculously stupid, but I liked it. He was told to clean the party place, and they will fix his car for free, sacrifice him to the animatronic creatures. So he does. He cleans the whole place while casually killing the robots, while he breaks to clean. At one point, a chick defeats a Spanish-speaking turtle by hitting it in the balls with a shotgun too many times, and it just keeps. Okay, you got me intrigued. Once all the enemies have... Yeah, so that's it. They just shot. They did their thing. I might be thinking of hit and run. Alright, so the Takabaki guys have gone. Next up... I forgot to end the turn, didn't I? And do the... Sure did. I can tell my head's not on right now. So we actually should have done... And we're also at initiative 5. That explains why nothing's been coming up. Okay, so we actually should have done a hold back the darkness roll before the combat. So here it is, 7+. We got it. We got a 8. So they went. We're next. Oh, we're about to unload. All right, so first off is Kaldus. You gonna roll for grit? They don't have terror or anything. Doesn't get his grit back, but he's gonna move up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of want to use his blood puppet, but it would sacrifice his turn. It's good if it's a really good move if I'm out of reach of the enemy. I could just have them shooting and attacking each other. But Kaldus does a lot. So he's getting 1 combat for the Dragon Sword. Hello. He's getting 1 combat for the Dragon Sword. 1 combat's Alssesandra. He's getting 1 combat for the well, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, Valiant Sword's giving him +1 combat. Once per turn, he can spend 1 honor to add +1 to all his combat hits for damage. I'm gonna do that. So it's gonna leave him with 1 honor. I wish I could put some damage into my weapon right now using blood magic, but I don't have the spells for that. He's getting +1 damage for that. He's getting +1 damage for the ritual blade, and it ignores armor. And if he ever kills an enemy, add marker here to use as magic. If I kill an enemy, I get +1 combat. What's crazy about this is that when I look at the card, I mean, it is 4 a.m. right now. It is pretty late, man. I might give it like another 45 minutes to an hour and I'm going to bed. But I at least want to see what this combat's like. And then we'll pick this back up on Thursday. Another reason why I started this stream right now is I wanted to test run multi-streaming. I wanted to see how running YouTube and everything would work, and so far, I'm live on YouTube and on Twitch. No problems. Facebook gave me some issues, but I'll work the kinks out on that. Alright, so... oh, I forgot to get a starting item. Definitely bandages. Oh, no. Yeah, bandages. Or a bandage and a whiskey. There. Alright, so, we're making 3 combat at 4+. I do have grit, so I can reroll if I need to, and I can always turn the damage dice into D8s with one of my focus, one of my honor. So that's 1 hit. I'm going to spend a grit to reroll these 2. take it. So that's 2 hits. So they are... I'm not getting any critical to this, but the base damage that I'm dealing right now is 2. So it's going to be -1 to my rolls, because I always remove the damage, the defense from my damage right off the bat. So yeah, I'm going to be -1 on my rolls to do any damage. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn one of them into a D8 using honor. Awesome. I gotta remind myself I can upgrade my armor rolls. I gotta get used to these guys. Oh, I'm +1 move? Read your stuff, Tony. Okay, so we move through other models. I can get through escape tests. If I kill an enemy, I get to heal 2 wounds, sand the enemy mix. Cover a grid on D6 roll of 4+. Alright, so main thing is I'm trying... What's the character that if I kill someone, I get an extra attack? Yes. Oath of War. Kill an enemy, get a +1 combat attack. And there's no limit to it. That's what's crazy about this. Alright, so let's roll these out. So this is going to be -1 to what I roll. So 2 points of damage. And then -1 to this roll. I was expecting more than this. There we go. So 5 points of damage. So we killed him. And I know it says 5+ armor, but I am using the Ritual Blade, which means I ignore armor. No armor for you, bro. I hate armor against it. Enemy armor. Oh my god. Alright, so we did... Technically we did, what, 4 points of damage on this guy? That was my face that typed that. Alright, so we did, as far as experience is concerned, there's no experience on this guy to gain from wounds, so, as you can see on the card, underneath health it says XP equals 30, so it means on death this guy's just equal 30 experience. Plus 5 for the elite ability that he's got. So we got 35 experience. And +1 combat. So 35 XP for Kaldus. And he got +1 combat because he took down an enemy. So let's roll it. He needs, again, a 4+. Got a 4+. Damage of the weapon is for all combat attacks. Yep, combat attacks. So +2 damage to the attack. Yeah, all right. So once again, we're looking at -1 to the roll. Whoa! 5 points of damage. So we'll just put. I do have icons I can use for this, or tokens I can use for this in the actual stream. But for now, I'll just use these. They don't have too much help. I do have dials too I could be using. Okay, they're not with me. All right, so that's the end for Kaldus. He had a pretty good turn. Now we have Alssesandra. Alessandra's going to roll for grit. And he's got a lot of stuff. Since she's the pastor, she gets the holy book. So she's getting +1 to her faith, which brings her to 3. She's getting +1 combat for that. She's getting the dragon sword, so she's getting +1 combat for that. What else is she getting? Dragon's Bane. Once per turn, use 1 honor to ignore tough, armor, endurance. Good lord! Questing Knights are stupid good. So yeah, the Queen's Knight gets this. Dragon Bane. Once per turn, use 1 honor, which I'm gonna do. to ignore tough, armor, and endurance for 1 melee critical hit. Okay. So you have to get a critical hit. Either way, that's really good. And she's got spirit armor because of Oath of Devotion. The Dragon Slayer ability, +1 that, +1 initiative, +1 max grit, +1 cunning. Immune to fear. Once per turn, ignore enemies' endurance for 1 hit, and you get the Dragon Sword. Unfortunately, a lot of that is not useful. So, she's going to move up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she's going to get 4 combat. If I get some crits, they're not undead. Because of Scourge the Dead, she gets +1 damage to all undead enemies. I do have Blessings, and I do have Judgments. I do have Weaken. But I think it still counts as an attack spell. I'll have to look at it later. Alright, here we go. I do have grit to reroll if I need to. Oh, God! Oh, that's 2 crits. I'm going to turn those into D8 damage attacks. So I'm getting +1 damage for the Dragon Sword. And that's pretty much it. So it's going to be +1 to my rolls, ignoring defense. Is it once per turn? Okay, this one I'm going to spend to make it a... What is it called? I'm going to use Dragon Slayer. Yeah, Dragon Slayer. Gonna basically turn that... Hold on. No, it's the Dragon's Bane. So I'm gonna spend that one honor to make that ignore tough armor and endurance on that crit. And I'm also going to spend 1 to make that a D8. And I'm obviously going to be putting this on the guy who has no damage on him. Spending a grit. I hate the idea that I'm spending grit on this. But that's a 1 that I just rolled. So +1 damage to this. Again, you're all witnessing my wonderful rolls of 1s and 2s. So we did 2 points of damage, ignoring his armor. On a D8, ignoring armor, with a crit, ignoring defense. Alright, the next attack is going after the guy who's got 1 wound left. It's a crit. I'm getting +1 damage to this. So, +1 to my roll. 4 points of damage. He needs to make 4 armor saves of 5+. Oh yeah. That's 3 misses. He had 1 wound left. He is dead. Unfortunately, I don't think I get the bonus for getting extra combat on... Yeah, no. Okay, so that's 35 experience for Alssesandra. Yeah, that is a lot of stuff that aren't... For level 1 characters, but that's journeyman characters for you. They seriously, they feel like level 2 or level 3 characters. I'm loving the knights so far. That's it. Everybody's activated. We now need to roll a 7+. Okay, I've been having bad luck, but damn. All right. them big boy numbers. So we just did a depth event at depth event 6, which is really good. Kind of unnecessary, but really good. So we already got the page up, so I'll just bring it up. And what happens on a depth event for that one is Stubborn Resolve. This place is horrible and unforgiving, but you are not about to give up without a fight. Each hero may immediately heal D6 wound sanity of any mix, or recover a grit. KO'd heroes are also immediately recovered, rolling for injury, madness, and healing. 2d6 wounds sanity any mix as normal for recovering. But they also, of course, get madness or injury. But in this case, we don't have to. Also, what's cool that I don't have to wait for that on redemption quests. So that means that if Kaldus ever dies, he can just come back. Yep, at start of the turn, he can just come back. But he does have to go through that process, though. Yeah. All right. So, how are we looking on health and everything? I know that somebody, Alssesandra took some damage, and she's not really a good healing paladin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give. Might be good just to have them both roll and get some health back. It is level 1. We only have 1 bandage and 1 whiskey, so it would make sense to me. And we're already in 1 combat. We haven't found a clue yet. So yeah, I'm going to choose the healing. Alright. So, for Kaldus, he's getting back 1 point of health. The game's taunting me. Or my rolling is. Alessandra's getting back. This is not a good start. 1 health. I miss my traveling monk frontier dock. Alright. Well, we got some health back, and the depth track didn't go. The darkness didn't come up on the depth track. Which, if you're not familiar with that, what happens with the this over here is the orange marker represents us going further and further into this dungeon. The blue one represents the evil and the darkness trying to escape. Either one reaches either side, it's a failed mission, which is bad. If the blue one lands on any of those red or yellow spaces that you see over here, bad things happen. The red ones stand for drawing darkness cards. The yellow one stands for drawing a growing dread card that doesn't pop up till the end of the adventure. And those can be team wiping cards. All right, so beginning of the round, Takabake Rifleman needs to make an escape test. I think it was a 4+. So in retreat, needs to make a d6 roll on a 4+, makes a free move, shortest distance to no longer be adjacent. And then, of course, it makes its melee attack, its ranged attacks afterward. If not, then it's just making a melee attack, which it does a lot because it's getting 3 combat. He could take Alessandra down right now, but luckily I got cover save. All right, so 5+, not 4+. I gotta remember that. All right, so he's getting an escape roll. He needs a 4+. So then he moves all the way over here and starts popping shots. No, he's got the shootout marker still on Alessandra. So he's getting 4 shots at 3 damage a pop. Sixes do double damage. I just bumped into it and turned it into a frickin' 6. So, 2 regular hits and a crit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this one out to reflect being the crit. So first thing that's going to happen is Alessandra is going to use her shield to give herself cover saves against these. So she gets 5 pluses against these first. She ignores the double damage. The shield takes the double damage, and the one of the attacks deflects it. The next one is a defense. We're going to see if her reflexes can kind of dodge the rest of the shots. She needed a 4+, she failed. So therefore she's taking damage of 3, which means she gets armor saves of 5 against this using her armor. God, knights are so good. Mad Arts. Knights are freaking awesome. So 5 pluses. So she takes 2 points of damage from that. All those shots. Those 3 shots. I'm loving the knights already. I already want to create 2 more. I want a Darkstone Shaman Knight, so a Darkstone Knight, which you can actually get a 4th tier ability for, which is sick. You can spend Darkstone to do a whole bunch of craziness. And I think I want either a Sorcerer or I want to try an Enforcer Knight. Being able to spend Grit to double the damage of your attacks is really good. Alright, so now that the Takobake Rifleman is done, we can move on to Kaldus. Kaldus is going to roll for Grit first. Oh man, I love the idea that the Paladin isn't taking any fear whatsoever. Fear. Terror and Unspeakable Terror still get him. Or her. So it doesn't get his Grit back. But he's going to move up. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, you know what we should have done? We forgot to do a encounter. I got so excited for a combat, I forgot to do the encounter in the doorway. We'll do that all here in a second. I'm not doing a good job at showing you all how this game plays. I just got too excited about actually playing these characters. Got ahead of myself. Alright, so he moves up. He's getting 3 combat. Because the encounter could totally change everything. Could have been another combat. Kaldus is moving up. He's going to be getting 3 combat since he's got his ritual, not the ritual blade, the Valiant Sword. Oh, that's right. Their honor reset at the beginning of the turn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1, give +1 damage to all his attacks. He killed an enemy, right? If he killed an enemy, then that means he's got 1. I'll put that over here. He's got 1 blood token to show that he can spend it on magic attacks. So he's going to be making 3 combat at 4+. That's a critical. Regular hit and a miss. I'm going to spend this honor token to turn this into... You've been failing me. So I'm going to go with you. I'm going to turn that into a D8 attack damage. And I'm getting +2 damage total. Yeah. So I'm getting +2 damage total. Ignoring defense. So +2 to the roll. He's got 2 health, 2 wounds on him. So let's see what we can do. So +2 to the roll. There we go. So that's 7 points of damage. He's not getting armor because of the ritual blade. It ignores armor. And yeah, that's a dead taco back. Knights are awesome. We just fought elites at level 1 like we cut through them like butter. I might have to increase the difficulty. That's 35 points of experience. Again, it's the 30 XP that's on the sheet, +5 for every elite ability the enemy has. Awesome. With that being said, victory! Defeated the enemy. We defeated 3 Takobake soldiers. The models pretty much reflect the artwork really well. Good job, Flying Frog. You do great. Their plastic models look so good. Over the years, they've gotten better and better. And now they've been changing over to thermal plastic. These are brand new thermal plastic models. They're easy to glue and almost impossible to remove. Oh, we gotta tear apart. Alright, so what happens when you finish a round of combat, or not round of combat, you finish a fight. You now do what's called catch your breath, and catch your breath is as you would expect. It's kind of self-explanatory. Where was he? Right there. So what's happening is that your character's kind of relaxing for a little bit, kind of heal up a little. Characters who activated, which is Kaldus, are going to be getting 1d3 back any mix. Alssesandra, on the other hand, who didn't get to go this turn, either gets 1d6 back or a grit. So, let's roll 1d3 for Kaldus. He's getting 3 points back, which is going to top him off. So he's going to be back to full health. Alessandra is at 10 health. I'm going to roll for her health. When I really need it is when my rolls are like, nah, it's okay. So she's getting 1 health back and she's just gone for the damn grit. Okay, so that's it. That's the catch your breath part of the game. Now we move on to loot. Now, anybody who's played Shadows of Brimstone, normally you pull out the loot deck, shuffle it, and then you go from player to player pulling cards from the loot deck. On this stream, I have everything already built in on the stream. And I kind of have it right now until Advanced Scene Switcher for OBS allows me to use arrays so that I can actually log what's been used and what's not been used. I'm going to have to kind of use what I've been using recently, and that's just, it just randomizes the cards in general. Now, when scavenging, it's a horrifying thing because I have the chance of getting multiple Growing Dread cards. So there's a big risk. Big reward, big risk for doing what I'm doing. Basically, it's like shuffling every single card. Alright, so let's start. We only fought 1 enemy group, and what happens is you get a loot card per character for every single enemy every enemy group you defeated, not enemy. This is 1 group. If we had another enemy group that came in during that battle, that'd be 2 different groups. So we get 2 loots. But in this case, we fought 1, so we're getting 1 loot card. So this is going to be for Kaldus. So Kaldus got a pretty good one. D6 times 50. If I had honor, actually I don't think you can re-roll these. The only time you can use honor is when it's on something you can grit roll. I'm gonna have to look that up. Because if you can turn that into a D8, that would be sick. Would help too, because getting money is kind of hard in this game, as you can see. So $100 and 20 XP is what we found off these Takobake riflemen for Kaldus. $100 and 20 XP. Next we have Alessandra. She's getting the worst version. Okay, so she's getting 25 times 6. $125 and 20 XP. Awesome. Okay, so my main reason why I did this tonight was because I wanted to test out YouTube. I wanted to see how multi-streaming to YouTube would be through OBS while streaming to Twitch. And I'll come out and say it, I was not disappointed. It was awesome. It was awesome. I haven't lost anything. And it's running smoothly, and I'm hoping that I can get this to work on Thursday's stream, as well as get Facebook running. That would be pretty cool. Because I'm trying my best to get this stream out everywhere, as much as anywhere I can. Because once my boy there, Mad Art, and Shockblazer, and everybody else that we play with, Hexafire, once we all get together again, I want to broadcast it to a bigger audience. So, because it's a lot of fun. I love Shadows of Brimstone. It's like my... For the longest time, I've had friends who tried to jump me into other board games, and I have all these other board games I could be playing, and I should probably be playing. But whenever I think about it, I'm like, I love Shadows of Brimstone. It is such a fun game, and I love the leveling, I love the skill trees, everything about it. I just, it's great. It's a great game, and it is, to me, it's more fun than playing video games. That's just me. I know it can be fighting words, but I love it. And also, I love this freaking thing. Oh my god, Bishop, seriously, dude, thank you. That was so cool, being able to actually like get line of sight and everything. All right, so that's gonna be it for tonight. We'll be continuing this adventure on Thursday with these two characters. Then Friday, I'll be bringing back the other four, Hoshorio, Abby, Chio, and Lester. We'll be bringing them back on Friday for their big adventure. So I'll be bringing these characters out probably just on Thursdays, once a week. So, but it'll be a long day. A long, fun day playing this. Hell, I might even bring it back to Saturdays again. Because I used to play on Saturdays, so I might pull up Saturdays again to play with the Knights, and I might have some new Knights by then, too. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. Mad Arts, Legends, Time Roller, thank you so much for coming out, hanging out with us. It was always good to see you all. And for anybody new, I hope you enjoyed it. This is just a small sampling of what we have for the stream. There's an awful lot. And if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll notice there's like 9 episodes of the new season right now. I hope you watch them. They're pretty long. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty long. There's part of me who wishes I can go in there and edit it and stuff, but I don't really have the time to do that. So I just kind of upload what I made, what I got from Twitch. So anyway, thank you all so much for showing up, hanging out. Yeah, I am calling it a night. I am actually a little bit tired. I can feel myself. I might be talking fast and everything, but I can definitely feel myself tripping here. There we go. But yeah, so thank you all so much for coming out, hanging out, watching Shadows of Brimstone. Again, we'll pick this up on Thursday. Tomorrow I'm hoping to actually improve some stuff on the stream, because there's a lot of things I've got on the stream that y'all haven't seen, like tokens and everything. They're bugged, and I'm tired of using them. So until I get them fixed, I'm trying to avoid using them. But anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. It's a little bit late. I don't know if there's anybody to raid into. Let me check. I mean, there's a few. You know what? I'm not gonna raid out tonight. I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream. So, like I said, Thursday I'll be picking back up with these characters, and then Friday we'll be bringing back the Season 2 characters, and we'll pick up from there. And I'm hoping to get as much time on these streams as possible, because I finally got my move-in date for moving, and it's about 5 weeks away, so in 4 weeks I will probably not be streaming for 2, possibly 3 weeks. So I'm trying to get as much content as I can out there so that you all can watch it while I'm off. So anyway, I'll until Thursday, you all have yourselves a wonderful Wednesday, and y'all take care.
dice, hear the thunder roar, knocking on fate's unsteady door.
Maps unfurl and kingdoms rise in this world where legends lie.
1,000 voices call the tune.
Under the stars, under the moon.
TNT tabletop, where dreams collide, where time won't stop. Raise your sword, claim your throne, for an epic tale to be sown.
Miniatures march, armies clash, imagination burning like a flash. Heroes fall and villains grin, but every loss holds where we begin.
Through the fog, through the flame, we write our story. We stake our claim.
TNT tabletop,
Where dreams collide, where time won't stop. Raise your sword, claim your throne, for an epic tale to be sown. An epic tale to be sown. TNT tabletop. TNT tabletop. Roll the dice, hear the thunder